Everyone, I know most of you out there, they think I've cheated on the previous solution on exercise 8.3, and you know what, you're right. Instead of sorting a two-dimensional array, I decided to sort two single-dimensional arrays. You know what? I'm gonna take care of that on this solution here. Okay. However, there is a piece of code that I copied from the previous solution, which is this one here. This is just a method for returning a score for a given student. Okay. So now that we've got that, let me jump onto the real solution, the kind that will be applying, or rather playing around with a 2D array. So this is gonna be it has to have 8 rows and 2 columns. So the first column will tell us the student ID, and the second column will tell us the corresponding score. Okay, so initialize data. So here's what I'll do. Int index equals to 0 is index less than 8, so index plus plus. Okay, I'll just go data. Okay, so we said the first element contains a student's ID. So and the second one, oh gosh, we need curly brackets. And the second one contains, oh damn, not J index. And the second one contains the score. So we'll initialize each score to what? To 0. Okay. Now that we've initialized, or rather populated, our data array, the next thing for us to do will be to do the sorting. I'll be sorting this array. So we'll be applying selection sort algorithm on a two-dimensional array. So I'll simply go byte I is equals to data dot length minus 1 is I less than equals to, or rather greater than 0, I minus minus I minus minus. Of course we need to typecast that. So here's a deal. I need to have a value that will hold my maximum index. For starters, we'll say that is actually equals to 1, I minus 1. And of course, we need to typecast that. So byte or double or max, it has to be bytes. This is an ID. So max is gonna be data at x index. This is a score, to be honest, you guys. At 1. So ideally we're going through our 8x2 matrix, right? We're saying that starting from the bottom going all the way to the top, we're comparing each student score to the current score we actually add. You know what, it's kind of confusing if I'm putting it in words. Let me just continue coding. It will make more sense as we go on. Okay, so I'll simply go bytes j equals to max index is j greater than or equals to 0 if that is indeed the case, j minus minus. I'm saying if max is less than data at j, the scores for student, if max is less than the score for student j, for student with ID j, if that is the case, then what we do, we need to do the swapping. However, this time around we're swapping elements on a 2D array. So max is gonna be at j j1, okay, j1. So that's my max, and then max index is j, of course, right? So do this portion will get executed until we find the maximum value, and once we have found it, we need to compare that value with our current max. So I1, now depending on whether or not if that value is less than max. If it is indeed less than max, again we need to swap. Remember, now we're swapping a 2-dimensional array, right? We need to swipe rows, right? It's like swapping row j with row I on a 2-dimensional array. That is basically what we're doing. Okay, so that's why gotta go temp id is equals to I, and then temp score is equals to data at, we need I for the row, and then 1 over there. Okay, mommy. So it is time to do the swapping. We wanna go data at I 0. First we're swapping need to, okay, this is the ID right here. Okay, now we're updating the ID value. Now we want to update the corresponding score. Okay, once we're done doing, that's max. Once we're done doing that, we're gonna have to say data at max index. Now we're dealing with the second part. Is equal to temp ID. Then data at max index 1. We need to put the corresponding score. That's temp score. Am I right? Definitely. I missed the P there. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. With that out of the way, guys, there's literally nothing left for me to do. Oh, except that I need to display. This is the trivial part now. You want to display we want to display the sorted array, 2-dimensional array I++. I want people to be clear, you guys. I don't care for efficiency, nor do I care for effectiveness. I just randomly write code depending on what's on my mind at a given moment. Okay, so it has to look student you know what, I could copy and paste this part, but then again, I don't know if you noticed before, you guys. You see, copying and pasting has resulted on a bunch of errors, logical errors for me before, so I'll try to no longer copy and paste. Okay. Oh, student ID, of course it has to be data at I, and then we go 0. Student score has to be data one. Okay. This is gonna do it for this tutorial, you guys. Let me try to run it and see what do we get. Array index out of bound my ass. Oops. Cancel. Line 35. Oops. The inner loop goes starting from max index going all the way to 0, whereas the outer one starts from dot length -1 going all the way to that. Really, let me have a look, you guys. Give me a moment. I made 2 silly mistakes. Number 1, which resulted on this array index out of bound, is this one here. I meant to put 1 over there, not I. And the second one is, you see, when I was actually populating my data array up there, Oops, I should have invoked this method here. That is to say, give me a corresponding score for a given student. Okay, in this case, we won't be passing student ID, we'll be passing index. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's hope shit will work. Boom. As you can see, guys, it seems like we're good. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this tutorial, guys. Cheers. Gone. Again, feel free to let me know what is it you think. Another crucial thing to bear in mind, I don't concern myself much about the efficiency or the effectiveness of a code. I am randomly giving out answers, okay? So I'm not expecting anyone to judge me, okay? I'm gone. I said that before.